My name is Elizabeth Graves, and I'm an LCSW therapist here at Century Health. And I specialize in trauma as well as I am a certified anxiety informed professional. So I'm going to come to you today and talk to you about anxiety. Anxiety is something that a lot of us deal with, and there are stages of anxiety. We can have a little bit of nervousness, maybe some butterflies in our stomach. We can have more anxiety where we have physiological responses, feel a little hyped up, a little amped up, and then it can go into full-blown panic attacks where maybe we're hyperventilating and we're not doing well at all. And so there are stages that can happen. So I'm going to kind of talk about this middle stage of anxiety, of kind of living in this heightened awareness state all the time, where you just feel a little nervous. You're not to the point of you're hyperventilating and having an attack, but you're definitely a little bit more than the nervousness of a few seconds of butterflies in your stomach. So I want to talk about that. I thought it might be helpful if I first share with you what happens in your brain when we have anxiety. So there's a little part of your brain called the amygdala, and that's in the center of your brain. And when we have something that causes us alarm, that the amygdala sends signals to our prefrontal cortex that something's going on. We need to be prepared. We need to either fight, flight, or freeze. Okay. And so what happens is Dan Siegel came up with a hand model of the brain, and this is the amygdala. This is your prefrontal cortex. So the amygdala gets a signal that there's something going on, and it sends that to the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is where all your rational thought is. Okay. So what happens though is when the amygdala says we have a problem, your prefrontal cortex goes offline. That's where we say you flip your lid, right? So your prefrontal cortex actually goes offline, which means what? I can't have a rational thought. And this can happen when you're just sitting in your chair. There's no threat. You know that. Cognitively, you're aware, I have no threat. There's no lion in the house trying to kill me. My house is not on fire. I have no threat. But for whatever reason, all rational thought is out the window. You're starting to breathe a little more shallow. You're feeling that amped up, right? You're feeling nervous. You are feeling maybe you're going to get sick. You're not really sure what's going on. Maybe you're starting to have a little bit of the shakes. And so this is what happens. But the biggest part that I want you to understand is all rational thought goes out the window. So I have some tips for you, and you want to get a pen and paper and write these down. The reason why is because in the moment that you are starting to have this anxiety, your brain is not going to be, oh, remember that list that lady on Century Health video told you? Where did you put it? You're not going to even be able to do that, much less remember where you put the list. So what I want you to do is write this down. What you can put it in several different places. I tell my clients, put it on your computer, put it on your bathroom mirror, maybe on your fridge, anywhere you think this is going to happen or is a common place that happens for you. Put this so that you can see it in several different places in your house and go, okay, that's right. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is if you're in an environment, wherever that is, put on some soothing music. Now, this isn't going to fix everything, but it lays the foundation and the groundwork for what we're going to do next, okay? So some soothing, calming jazz, whatever you like. Some people opera, some people classical, whatever calms you. Some quiet, maybe some elevator music, something quiet and calming. You can do earbuds now. Wherever we are, we can pretty much put some music on. So put on some calming music. Next, I want you to do something called 4-7-8 breathing. You inhale for 4 seconds. You hold it for 7, and you exhale for 8. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 7, and exhale for 8. When you do 2 rounds of that, you are going to see a huge difference, because that 8-second exhale is a very slow, controlled exhale. It's not just a blow it out. It is slow and controlled. You are slowly bringing your body down. You're relaxing the cortisol, the adrenaline. Everything is calming down. You can feel your heart rate slow down. You can feel your blood pressure dropping. It is wonderful. I have used it in the past, and it's like, game changer. Just maybe my thoughts start to run away with me, and I start to kind of worry about something that is not worth worrying about. And I will do that 4-7-8 and go, okay. Now, all it does is keep the prefrontal cortex from going offline, so you can go, okay, wait a minute. This is keeping me in some rational thought. That's the first thing. We have to lower everything, all the hormones, we got to bring them back down so that we can continue to get ourselves pulled back from that anxiety or a panic attack. The next thing you can do is something called 5 senses. You may not be able to do all 5, but at least try. 5 things you can see. I can see a blue couch. I can see a pink cup. I can see my computer. Name 5 things. 4 things you can hear. I'm in a very quiet neighborhood, in a quiet house. I hear nothing but myself speaking, but maybe you are somewhere where there's lots of noises. Identify 4 things you can hear. 3 things you can touch. Try to get things with texture. I like to keep this little textured sticker. You can buy these on Amazon and they're nice and textured. I have one on my desk. I have one on my phone. I have one different places. So touch them, because all that does is ground you. It brings you back. Your tactile senses pick up things and it brings you back. 2 things you can smell. That may be harder, but I like to keep some essential oils on hand. Lavender, chamomile, menthol. This is what is this? Something for headache relief. So it's probably got some menthol in it. Eucalyptus. It's wonderful. And then maybe one thing you can taste. Coca-Cola, sweet, sugar, salty, something that's not just neutral. Now you may not be able, like I said, to do all 5 of those. That's okay. But what you're doing is you're grounding yourself to your reality. You're saying, okay, my brain's trying to run away with this thought, but no, actually I'm okay and I'm safe. I'm sitting right here. I'm in my chair. I can touch this and taste this and feel this and hear this. So it's a very good grounding technique. Another thing that you can do is a really cold shower. Studies have shown that this cold shower is really, really good. I know it sounds counterintuitive to think about 10 o'clock at night, getting ready for bed and take a cold shower. But if you struggle with anxiety, it is going to calm everything down. Why? Because then your body is going, wait a minute, my brain can't run away with these thoughts that I'm having, because now all of my senses are firing to the fact that I'm in a freezing cold shower. So that means I need to conserve everything and try to stay warm. So it makes your body switch to something else. It doesn't have to be a long cold shower. If you can't stand the cold showers, I am one of those, then get a cold ice pack and put it on the back of your neck. All the neurons then are sensing and saying, we've got to take care of this. Forget whatever that thing we were worrying about. We've got to go. For some reason, our neck's freezing. You can put it on your wrist as well, anywhere where there's some good pulse points, okay? I will say I've recommended this to a lot of people, and for them, it's a game changer, especially if they tend to have recurring anxiety the same time every day. They just know, and this really can bring them back down. Another thing that's good to do is decreasing your caffeine. I know that may be a sore spot for you. I'm a coffee girl. I get it. But if you struggle with anxiety, that can be something that can increase your anxiety, because what does it do? It's adding caffeine, which is going to ramp you up, and it can cause you to have the jitters and the shakes. Maybe you need to cut it back. If you do coffee and you like your sodas, maybe you drop your sodas. Those are not good for us anyway. Have you ever dropped a penny in a soda bottle and seen what it happens to it? Eeks. So think about maybe cutting back. Water is the best medicine for everything. Tons of water, tons of water. Taking some really good supplements of magnesium, your omega-3s, or just eating a lot of good fish and salmon, getting those omega-3s. Ashwagandha is another good one. 5-HTP. Those are really good supplements. There is an all-natural supplement called Anxiety IQ. You can get it on a website called activatefiq.com. It's made in Georgia. It's a really good, I used to work with a functional medicine doctor, and we use these products. And they have Anxiety IQ, Sleep IQ, Focus IQ, all natural, made from like lavender and chamomile and valerian root and St. John's wort, all these great things. If you try these and you're still having some severe anxiety, these aren't working, then I really recommend maybe you reach out and try to see a mental health professional. It may be that you need to, for a season, consider pharmaceutical medication. I am not someone who pushes that, but there are times when it can be helpful. So definitely, if you're feeling like you're having some anxiety and these things don't work for you, please reach out and we will be glad to help you find a mental health professional who can really help you work through some of these issues. Thanks so much, and I hope this has been helpful.